Marvel fans, comic geeks, and all nerds in between. My name is Megan, and I am here because I just got home from the movie theater from watching Supergirl, and I'm very excited to talk about it with you guys. So this will be my review for Supergirl. So there's been a lot of back and forth about this movie. Some people absolutely hated it, some people loved it, and there's a really big hate campaign going on. And there's also a toxic positivity campaign going on as well. And it's a lot. Who cares who likes what movie and for what reason? I liked it. I dug it. I thought it was fun. But just a reminder, it's perfectly fine to not like the movie too. That doesn't make you a sexist. That doesn't make you a bad comic fan. That just means you have an opinion. And there are a lot of people who are forgetting that and are assuming that people who don't like it are just wanting to bash it because it's a woman-led movie. I don't think that's the case with a lot of people. But if you are bashing it because it is a woman-led movie, you can go to hell. So, yeah, I liked it. I can understand if some people don't. I feel like there's a really big difference between people who did not read the comic book that's based on and who did. I don't know how I would feel about the movie if I didn't read it, just to put that out there. So diving into it, Millie Alcock is fantastic as Kara. No matter what you disliked about the movie, I feel like that cannot be denied. She took a hold of that role and made it her own. Kara is someone that carries the trauma of her past, losing her family and her planet with her every single day. She's not someone who sees the best in people, just like Superman. She's not someone that sees the best in people like Superman would. She's someone that sees things very black and white, and as she says in the movie, that she sees the truth. She's spending her birthday on a planet with a red sun, which means she doesn't have powers while she's there, and she gets to drink like a normal person. Who doesn't want to drink on their birthday? I don't know. Keep in mind, this is directly from the source material, and it wasn't the directors trying to make Supergirl edgy or anything. I've seen a lot of people saying that they made her into nothing more than a drunk. With respect, with all due respect, I don't think you get to bash a movie for how the character is portrayed if you're not aware of where the inspiration came from. That's just my opinion. So in the movie, we get a really good introduction to Kara. She is someone, like I said, that has a lot of trauma. But we do get to see that trauma happen. It's not just hinted at. We get to see her life on Krypton and seeing her life before everything changed with tragedy. We get to see her with her parents. But then we see her dad building the spaceship that's big enough for her to fit in because she's going to follow her cousin Kal-El, who is Superman. We also get to see her mother get sick. We get to see Kara look at her dad for the last time before everything goes to hell in Krypton. So I feel like seeing her before everything happened, then seeing her while it happened, then after all this time, I feel like that added a lot of layers to her character that we really don't get to see very much in comic book movies these days. So I love how that was handled. Like I said, she is amazing as Kara. She's fantastic. And before anyone says, oh, did you not read the comic? Do you not read Supergirl comics? I read all of them. And I review them on nerdinitiative.com if you'd like to read them. So moving on, Jason Momoa. I go very back and forth with Jason Momoa's Lobo in this movie. He makes for a very interesting Lobo. He does do very, very well. Don't get me wrong. He felt like he was a lot more toned down than his comic book counterpart, which worked well in the movie. And to be between you and I, Lobo is an annoying character. I love his character, but he is an irritating character. So it was nice to see that he was toned down. But I also think you could have taken him out of the movie and there wouldn't be much of a difference in the movie. Don't get me wrong. I do like that Lobo was involved, especially when he was originally involved in the comic Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. He was taken out of that story, so I think it makes sense that he's here. I mean, what other movie or what other movie in their slate would have worked to bring Lobo in besides this movie? It's fine. It worked. I love Jason Momoa's Lobo, and I'm really happy to see someone play a character that they truly wanted. That something that always seals the deal with me. And that's what Lobo is with Jason Momoa. So the bad guy, Krem of Yellow Hills. He was definitely an upgrade from the comic. I have to say that. I feel like he matched the tone of the intergalactic villain so well. And much better than he did in the comic. And he was much more involved in the movie than he was in the original story. So I think that was handled really well. I like how creepy he looked. And I liked how menacing and how awful of a person he was. I thought that was really well done, especially with the trafficking angle that they used in the movie. I feel like that added a lot more depth to the movie, a lot more depth to the character. It made sense, and I dug it. So Ruthie. I go back and forth on Ruthie in the 2 hours it's been since I've seen the movie. I don't know. I feel like this movie really could have benefited from 20 extra minutes, especially sometime giving us more backstory on Ruthie, because they really just jumped into that, I think, way too quickly. So I would have liked to see more there because I didn't really have an emotional connection to her whatsoever. Like, when I'm trying to keep this pretty spoiler free, so just so you know. So when tragedy strikes in her life, I didn't feel anything because we weren't introduced to them before all of this happened. We didn't get to see their lives together as a family before all this happened. Instead, we're just thrown in, and there was no emotional pull for me with Ruthie. I do think the actress did fantastic playing Ruthie. I really liked her chemistry with Kara. I think they worked really well together. But the one dynamic that shined the most was the chemistry between Superman and Kara. There was a very familiar vibe between them that would make you think they're actually related. And speaking of Superman, there was a lot more Superman in this movie than I expected, but I'll never complain because David Cornsweet is absolutely delightful as Superman, and I'll take whatever I can get. But they both work really well together. So I'm really interested to see where their relationship goes in DC, because I want to see them work together. I want to see them fight together. I want to see them be the super Kryptons together. So there like, I did have some pros and some cons. A con is some of the music didn't quite land for me. A lot of it didn't feel like it really fit the scenes very well. It didn't take me out of the movie, but like, I don't know. After James Gunn does really well with music in his movies. And I know James Gunn did not direct this. I'm aware of that. But I thought maybe he had a hand in it. But I don't think he did. And that's okay. It's not blatantly off. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take you out of the movie. It's just kind of like, oh, that could have been better. A pro I have was excellent pacing and phenomenal world building with the different aliens in the story, with the different places they go. It's very well handled, and the world building is just out of control. It's fantastic. Another pro is Crypto. Of course, I freaking love Crypto. I want so much more. He's just such a good boy. But I really like I feel like with Crypto in particular, this was a time for Millie Alcock to show her just how well she can capture Kara. And she did. If you saw her with Crypto, who was a CGI dog, you could see that there was so much emotion in her acting. And you'd think, like, is this your dog? I don't know. But it was handled very well. And that just goes back to me saying that she really captured Kara perfectly well, at least for me. Some people don't think so, and that's because they're holding on to the past of the Arrowverse, of now people apparently like Snyder versus Kara, which is wild because y'all said some pretty mean things when that was revealed. Pretty mean ones. So, whatever. But something I see a lot of people say, or I have seen, is that they don't like how Kara was portrayed differently than Superman. You should understand that Kara Zor-El, she was never meant to be another Superman. She's her own character, and she's inspiring in her ways, just as Superman is inspiring in his own ways. These are two separate beings. These are two separate stories, two separate everything. We don't have to try to compare the two because that really doesn't make much sense to me. So yeah, I tried to keep this brief. I had a great time with the movie. I think it is very, very fun. I really enjoyed it. There are some things I would change, but I mean, what movie is perfect? So yeah, that is my review for Supergirl. I really enjoyed it. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'd say that's fair. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you're going to say that something against female superheroes, don't bother commenting. I'm just going to delete it. I don't want to read that. I'm good. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you have a marvelous day.